Let's get in technical checks going as well on the show. We've also got with us Pritesh Mehta, Head Technical Research, IIFL. Pritesh, coming on the index at 78.89 as well as the IT index and INFI on the charts.
Now see, despite the rally of 4% in last week's trade, index is still yet to cross the highs of Jan 2016, which is 7,979. It is the same place from where the selling pressure took place in Jan and Feb. So the same also coincides with the upper end of the Gann channel. So I think we can talk about building fresh longs on index only above 7,979. Till this point, I think we'll be getting into a zone of consolidation between 7,750, which is the midpoint of the Gann channel, and 7,979. See, we have had a tremendous move of 15% from the budget days lows. I think there is nothing wrong in being cautious in the market. This is a time to book profits, sit on the sidelines, and wait for market to stabilize. Because I think in today's trade, I've observed that market is struggling to hold on to early morning gains. So let the markets stabilize, and then we can take a fresh call on the markets.
Coming on the IT index as well, that's up in the green, and INFI in particular reaction, but run us through some of the targets, Pritesh, on the stock specifically.
Now see, if we look at the broader charts of Infosys, it is making some sort of bearish wolf wave. The upside targets were placed around 1270, 1260, 1275. From that point onwards, this stock has reversed in today's trade. So I think if you look at the short-term horizon, I think we have met the upside, at least on the charts. We can see stock coming back to levels of somewhere close to 1180, 1175 before again resuming its uptrend. So for the short-term trading, I think stock is looking a bit down.
Okay, I want to talk more about some of the other stocks that are certainly hogging the limelight right now. Mindtree ahead of its numbers. The open interest is up about 7.5%. Some fresh long positions being built up on Mindtree. Other than that, from the broader end of the market, check in on Just Dial. The open interest up about 4%. Fresh long positions being built here. What about these two stocks?
Mindtree, I think this stock is looking interesting. We have seen a strong rally from 620, 630 odd levels in matter of days to 740. But I believe that, it has to just spend some time consolidating at the top before we can start creating fresh longs. Maybe after a sharp run-up, I think at best we could see some sort of consolidation taking place in this counter. And this other one is Just Dial. Just Dial is I think it's a good pullback story. The stock went through sharp correction for entire 2015. Now it is providing sharp pullbacks. And I believe that it is important for the stock to regain control above 890 for at least a couple of trading sessions. Then only we can start talking about targets of 990 and 995.
Okay, that's a view coming in. Those are two stocks which are certainly buzzing about in trade. In addition to that, by the way, you've also got a Kaveri Seeds, some fresh long positions being seen there. The open interest is up about 7%. And of course, can't ignore the move that you're seeing on INFI. So that's clearly an interesting view on the F&O side of the market. But we've got a big policy news break coming up, and the big news is in the infrastructure sector. In a bid to revive infrastructure projects, the government, along with credit rating agencies, is looking at a new rating system to assess the viability of public-private partnership projects. We've got Ruchi Bhatia joining in live with all the exclusive details. Ruchi, walk us through what are going to be the key parameters of this new rating system.
So, Avan, what we are given to understand is that this is going to be a move that is going to affect all infra companies as well as all infrastructure projects, whether they are in the making or they are stalled. What we're given to understand that the government, along with the credit rating agencies, are mooting a new rating system for all infrastructure projects. And the new rating system is basically going to assess the viability and the variable risk factors along with the revenue prospects and the business prospects of various PPP projects. The new rating system is going to clearly differentiate between the credit rating of a company or a contractor versus the project. So in a case that even if the company has a bad rating, but if a project is viable, the new rating system is going to incorporate that. What we're given to understand is that Finance Ministry is in fact in touch and is providing a knowledge base for the assessment of various PPP projects to various credit rating agencies. They are in touch with almost 6 credit rating agencies for the same. The credit rating agencies will very soon move SEBI and seek an approval for this new rating system. What we're given to understand that this should be finalized within this fiscal and will come as a big shot in the arm for all infrastructure projects.
Many thanks, Ruchi, for joining in and giving us all of those details. So clearly a new rating system for the infrastructure projects that will be assessing the variable risk factor as well for some of the PPP projects. And of course, we're talking about this new rating system being finalized by this fiscal. That's the big policy exclusive, sources telling ET Now. And we'll take a quick break right here on the show, but stay with us. Lots more lined up on the other side. Back with hot stocks, looking good for the markets at this juncture. We're in conversation with Pritesh Mehta on the technicals. And Pritesh, walk us through your top stock ideas.
Our first recommendation is buy on Himmat Singha seed. Now see, this stock is showing signs of fresh breakout from bullish flag pattern. In the first 2 weeks of March, the stock had a steady up move. Thereafter, it went into a sideways phase of consolidation. Now, this consolidation eventually took shape of bullish flag. In today's, it is an attempt to break out from this pattern. So buy for a target of 228. And our second recommendation is buy on BML. It's a classic case of change of polarity. Now see, the stock in the month of Jan 2015 had a breakout from a rounding bottom formation. Thereafter, it scaled a peak of around 1600 levels. From that point onwards, it began a downward journey. In the process, it broke important support levels. However, it found some respite at the previous breakout point of 2015. Also, in the process, the stock retraced the entire up move of 2013 to 2015 by 50%. And that proved to be the turning point for this counter. So buy BMF for a target of 1040.
Thanks very much, Pritesh, for joining in and sharing with us all of your top stock ideas. But let's get you some news on the Kotak Bank.